So I'm quite pleased with progress. It's not perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better than the spiral staircase. Got my chairs all, they go really nice. I can't believe how successful those chairs have been. But if we line it up, and I think they're going to be really, really strong. So basically, I'll just film kind of close up so you can see there's a lot that's going on here. It's, of course, a cardboard tube. So, but even though it's a cardboard tube, it's a bloody thick one. I mean, it took, as you saw, it took some sawing to get through it. And I think it's actually going to be really substantial. It's not going to be perfect, but it will be good. It will be good. I'm quite happy with it. The hardest part was getting the wood pieces to go in. Getting the wood pieces to go in at the right angle. And also looking at it from the sides, below, above, just getting the whole thing to sort of sit right. And I was messing with it and cutting into the cardboard till I got it just right. And this is the most difficult part, is getting the first layer of resin on, because the steps were moving, you know, and I needed them to stay in position. And I think that's all right, actually. I've always wanted one of those. I mean, I've had spiral staircases before. Well, we've got one in the house. And Graham and I had one in the first house that we lived in. And we had two in the house where I grew up. So I've had spiral staircases, but the boat houses over the other end, they've got these where it's just one pillar and then the steps are embedded into it. And I've wanted one of them ever since I saw them do it. But I was thinking, that's quite a bit of engineering, because each step requires quite a lot of support. Now, once that resin is set, as I say, I'll be able to flick it up on its back onto the bench, and then I'll be able to sand off all the rough bits, get it nice and smooth, and then I'll be able to turn it over and reapply more resin and glass until it's really nice, strong, and a really nice finish. And then I will paint it white, but not just with white paint. I will mix the paint in with the resin, so it's known as a gel coat. And then I will fix it at the top. And I know exactly how I'm going to do that, and I will probably resin it in place in the bottom. In fact, it probably is at the moment now anyway, because a load of stuff has dribbled down. And I added a step. It's got 7 steps now instead of 6. That was my mistake. I put one in the middle, and then I thought I want 3 above and 3 below, because I'm stupid, and I didn't realise 3 and 3 and 1 is 7. But anyway, it looks good with 7. I'm very, very pleased with it. Right, it's Friday. I finished for the day. We start again tomorrow. It's vino time, a fag time. I'll just show you the stairs as they're up to now. There. So you can see it's fiberglass, all of that. And I actually walked up it to the 3rd step. The 3rd step to me didn't feel quite secure enough, because the slit that I had to cut into the cardboard was a little wider on that one. So tomorrow it's going to go back on the counter thing, as I say, and I will
I'll sand it right down really nice, and then I'll put a nice strong spine of glass down the back. I'm not going rowing tonight. I'm absolutely exhausted. That's been a big thing actually. Well, as you all know, the spiral staircases. I only ever used the well, it's getting a bit darker now. I only ever used the broomsticks because they were cheap, and I couldn't think of any other solution. I'll also do a bit of filming down by the boathouses, so you can see the ones they've got down there are like stainless steel with steps in them, which are pretty cool. But I know this one is going to look really cool, and it's going to look, it will sort of fit to the boat again. So I'm off for the night. I'm going to watch Charlie's Angels. I'm going to get an early night and then up tomorrow morning. And bit by bit, this back deck will be completely finished, I hope, soon. Well, put it this way, I'm not releasing this video actually until that bloody staircase is done. And it's white and it's in situ, so there may not be a video for a few days. I mean, this is the exciting life of Fiona. This is what I get up to. I haven't done anything for a couple of weeks. I've just been laying watching the TV, just getting depressed. And I'm like that anyway at the best of times. I have to say to myself, get up, do something. And that's why I come across as one of these manic people who's constantly cleaning and stuff, because if I stop, I stop. It's really difficult to get myself going again. I just tend to think, oh, sod it, I'll do it tomorrow. And I don't want to get into that again. And as it's just me, there's no one to sort of nag me, kick me up the backside, apart from the cat. Oh my God, I got these dreamies. I don't know what's in them, but they're like a serious fix for her. She's been pouncing all over me at 3 and 5 and 7 in the morning. Begging for these cat dreamies. They're different ones I got from the Mercadona across the road. I'm not getting them again because she's been a right royal furry pain actually, nagging and begging for them. I can't wait to see her clutch. She's going to love this because the one thing my cat loves is a ladder. She loves going up the ladder, not so sure about coming down it, but she can get down the other side of the boat. She is going to love this. She won't go near it until it's finished because she can smell the product is still sticky. Right, so tomorrow is another day, guys. Okay, don't know if you can hear me over the wind, but these are the staircases. I don't know if you can see that there. Those ones. That's what gave me the idea. Although I'm looking at those now, and I actually like mine better. But I was kind of fascinated because to just have one bar down the middle, that's serious engineering. And I was surprised at how strong that staircase I've done is after just one layer. And there will be subsequent layers go on it. I don't know if I've got the energy to finish it today, actually. No milk. Saturday morning, no tea. So I've got to walk into Jib to get milk. People say, are there no shops this side of the border? Yeah, but they're further to walk. It's a marina. You've got to walk a long way in a marina just to leave the marina. And the nearest shop really is Eroski. I mean, I think there is one in... no, it's probably the same distance. And I don't know if it's open because it is Saturday. A lot of shops are open in Spain on a Saturday, but a lot aren't. I know Eroski will be open. Oh, I'm absolutely exhausted. Oh, went to bed early, slept right through. Cat's nagging. Cat's had her treats. She's nagging for more already. I haven't even looked up Harry and Meghan. No idea what they're doing. I'm sure if they were doing anything interesting, I'd have heard about it. You know, it'd be on world news, wouldn't it? Oh. So basically, I've reinforced each step this morning by putting a bit of mat between the steps, underneath, down the tube and onto the next step. And I've just put a nice big long strong glass spine down the back, and I mean, it may not look that strong, like the matting and the resin, but when the two are fused together and they go off, whoa, it's like a rock. Literally nothing like glass, actually. Nowhere near as fragile as glass. So I've got to wait for that to cure, and while I'm waiting for that to cure and my other filler to go off, I'm going to get on with a bit of carpentry, and hopefully we'll be finished by the end of today. That is the plan. Once the steps have gone off and I can put them back in place, I will most likely put a little bit of mat across the top of each step just to finish it off before I finally paint it with the white. Okay, tea break. Look at that. Like a rock. Only thing is the base is not secure yet, so I thought I'd stop for a tea break. I'm waiting for everything to cure a bit more, and I've got to order some sanding pads, sanding discs that are more like 40s or 80s, really coarse, to cut it right down. But I will paint it this afternoon. We'll get the white coat on, I'll paint the back. I've been messing with the wall and stuff, because I figured it doesn't really matter if I'll put the final gel coat on, and then and then the sanding discs turn up later in the week. I can just, you know, cut it down and then do a second coat, and it'll be good to go. I can't wait until it's all done. These corners, you know, there's a lot involved in a corner, especially with a fucking staircase. And I've tested it out. It's solid as a rock. The only thing is, obviously, it revolves at the moment. It's got to have its housing put on the floor. So, tea break. I have had a quick look to see if Meghan and Harry been up to anything lately. Not lately, nothing new that I can see, not here in Spain. But what I can see is, I saw an article about someone, one of the main royal journalists was saying how horrified the Princess of Wales, Catherine, was when all the Where's Kate and, you know, Christopher Boozy and the trolling and the attacks. Yeah, I can imagine. I really can, and I'm sure a lot of you can imagine out there. Firstly, any sort of situation like that is hard enough as it is. As I've mentioned before, the real kicker with Graham was the initial diagnosis. After that, well, that's the bad one. So for the Princess of Wales, that would have been the bad one. And it would have been a shock because, well, Graham was older, and they were never quite clear. He may have come into contact with something at some point. It's actually a smoker's cancer, and he never smoked. And I don't smoke indoors, and I never smoked anywhere near him. So, and I asked them, you know, is it ever a passive smoking thing? And they said, no, it's got to be a dedicated, you know, I'm a prime candidate for it. So for someone even younger as Catherine, and I mean, she's fit, she does lots of sport, which Graham didn't. He did yoga when he was younger, but he hadn't been particularly active for about 15 years, whereas she's very sporty. She's very careful with her diet, obviously not a smoker. So, I mean, and the environment in which she works and lives, I mean, that would have been a huge shock. And then imagine having Christopher Boozy and other dickheads, if I may say so, dickheads, online, conducting either TikTok videos or lives on YouTube saying, I don't think the Princess of Wales has got cancer. I think she's lying about having cancer. So relate. I so relate. I am so there with the Prince and Princess of Wales and their children and the wider family. And of course the King. The King has this, but the article that I saw was about Catherine. I mean, she would have discovered it not that long after, I suppose, after Endgame, which ended Omid Scobie's career, from what I can see, and bloody good job too. Serves him right, little maggot. What horrible meanies, dickheads, wankers, arseholes, to put her through that. And then I mean, when Graham made the decision to tell everybody on YouTube, that was Graham's decision. He was diagnosed on the 17th of May, and I think it was July that he said, I want people to know. And he had a multitude of reasons, whereas the Princess of Wales wasn't given that luxury. She just had to go out there because of all the, oh, she faked a photograph, when Meghan's never faked a photograph. I mean, I just think it's disgraceful. Anybody having a go like that, it's horrible. So I saw that article and I just thought, well, yeah, what do you expect in this day and age? A lot of people can be wankers. I'm glad she's through it, and long may that be the case. And I'm glad that the King appears to be doing very well, and long may that be the case as well. And apart from that, oh yeah, and then I saw some people had said Hollywood don't want to touch Meghan and Harry. Someone said that in the mainstream media. You think? I think we've all been saying that for about 2 years. You know, these mainstream media, play catch up. Fucking hell. Oh, wind's picking up. I'm going to go and watch TV while I wait for this to cure. Really nice. And then I will paint it. And I might do a timestamp video of that. Like I say, it's not perfect yet, but until I get the because the sanding discs I'm down to, I was going to buy some more. I haven't spent any money this weekend. Not a penny. Literally, I had all the products, but the only sanding discs I had was like a multi-pack where they've got the various grades, and I'm down to a 180, which is really fine, and it just doesn't, you know, next to useless. So I will get my 80s and 40s. There'll probably be a Wednesday or something. In the meantime, I have ordered 2 fins for my dinghy, but they won't be here till Monday, apparently. And then hopefully the end of the video we will have a nice white corner. Hope so. And it's looking really good, you know. It's I've got to do the top as well, but it's getting there. In fact, I was thinking there used to be a TV show that they showed here. It was an American one, where these guys would change the shape of a car. So, you know, the owner would say, I want it more sleek, I want it wider, I want the wheel arches bigger. And these guys would use just about anything. They would use expanding builder's foam, polystyrene, clay, plasticine. They would use whatever they wanted, and they would make the shape and then glass over it. It was a fascinating show, and that was, I used to watch that years ago, and that's what gave me the idea. I thought, well, basically you just need to make a shape. Once you've made your shape, then you can just glass over it. And I mean, it is a fantastic product. As I say, the cardboard tube itself was incredibly strong anyway, but with the glass over the top, I mean, it's phenomenal. It's really phenomenally strong, and I'm really happy with the way it fits. And then I've got space. I might put a plant behind it. And I'm going to paint it white to start with, but I might change the colour. I might paint it brown. Let's see how it is white. If I don't like it white, try brown. If I don't like brown, I might try grey or beige. Beige. Yeah, Megsy's go-to colour. So that's what I've been up to this weekend. What have you guys been up to this weekend? I know what you haven't been up to this weekend. I bet you haven't been sitting on the internet fucking trolling some twat, laughing at someone who's got cancer. Which apparently an awful lot of people, including Kim Kardashian. Don't forget she joined in on it all. I'm not sure I ever heard her say sorry. She might have done. I don't know. But I probably missed that one. Right, I'm going to go and watch a movie with Pierce Brosnan and Juliet something or other. They're both lawyers, and they're fighting over a castle in Scotland. So that's right up my street. That was actually incredibly difficult. Very hot. Got my first coat on. I'm really pleased with it, actually. Whole corner's been done. It's quite tricky to work with because it's not paint, you know, it's glass. So it's a lot. And in a very hot corner, and actually it's quite cool now compared to how it was earlier. Can you see? I can't even see the screen. I'm just blinded by whiteness. But yeah, I'm happy with that, and I've ordered my new very, very rough sanding discs, which will polish it all up later in the week. I'm done. I'm going to shop. Thank you all very much for watching. Good night, and may your God go with you.